Hello, my friends. I'm Jihondo, and welcome back to our Let's Play of OpenTTD Season 2. This is episode 53. In episode 52, two things were going on. I'll talk about the one outside the game first. Um, my computer had a great deal of trouble keeping up with us, even on the same speed, so I couldn't run the game at high speed at all. I did figure out what was happening. I had a process running that was dragging out 25% CPU. So I killed it off, and thankfully I didn't immediately start recording again because about 10 seconds after that, my antivirus decided it needed to do an update. I was suddenly running at 99% disk for a while, so that would have made recording a bit tough. But anyway, it appears to have stabilized now. It seems to be done everything. Nothing else is jumping up, so I think we're going to be at a point where we're ready to go. And then in terms of what happened in-game, we had this mine, where are we here? Yeah, somewhere over here we had a mine that had petered out, supporting this mill here, so we just went ahead and extended the line down here to this added iron mine here. When I built the line, I apparently did a little bit of an oopsie. Where is it here? Can't even see it. There. You'll see there's a little jink in the track. I apparently did not line these up perfectly, so I noticed it when the train was about here at 112 kilometers an hour. And that's why there's a stop time button. I don't know how my guys got here and built this little section of track in the about, what, maybe minute and a half it would take to clear that distance at 112 kilometers. But anyway, they somehow did. It's all a bit magical. Anyway, let's get going. And just to show off that the computer is cooperative, let's even start right off the bat with some speed ups. That's more like it. Frame rate drops into the 50s for a bit, but that's fine. At least it can do it now. So we're back to normal. That was kind of annoying last episode, I'm not going to lie. You may have found it annoying, you may not have, I definitely did. So, anyway, that's the story there. So, let's see, in terms of missions that we're working on, I don't know that any of these are likely to finish soon. They all want really high volume, which is a bit unfortunate. I mean, obviously we've increased the volume, especially here with that added train. That's the other thing we did last episode I should mention, is because this factory here comes up so often in the Busy Bee, and its only current farm had been this one here with really low productivity, I went ahead and added a second farm here with, much better productivity, and I invested about $500,000 into a nice long tunnel here so that this train would go at full speed the whole way, which was awfully nice of me. Mostly I didn't really mind because we were sitting on over 50 million, so it wasn't that big a deal, but still, it's definitely not something we could have done earlier on. So, well, we didn't even have trains early on, but if we had, either way, we certainly could not have built a tunnel for $500,000. So, anyway, that's cool too. So now, this guy gets to go at full speed, and that's awesome. Alright, what else can we look at? Oh, we haven't looked at the boats in the south of the map lately. Down here... Oh, come on, zoom in a little. There we go, these guys here. For a long time, I had both sides of these set to full loads, and all the boats would be stuck at this dock, because it just doesn't generate all that much passenger traffic, even though I do have a bus station inside, deeper in the city. But then this side was heavily burdened. It looks like it's getting pretty burdened again. Might be time to add another boat, or very soon. Clearly this side doesn't need it, but this side clearly does, so. And I don't think we get a better boat in terms of capacity. These hold 100 passengers. I don't think we get another capacity upgrade boat for a very long time. I think it's in the 80s or 90s before we get more boats. So at this point, I think I'm just going to go ahead and clone one more boat. There we go. And that will help somewhat ease this. It's still going to be a bit high, but it'll help ease it a little bit. It does mean every boat going this way now will make less profit, because there'll be even less passengers here after they split them up a little more, but that's okay. I don't mind. And on the topic of boats, why don't we pop over and have a look and see how we're doing on my really busy shipping route. Yeah, that's just crazy. Anyway, this side, that's not bad. A little high on the passenger side, but otherwise not bad at all. On this side, okay, the passengers are high, but all the boats are kind of stuck together. I could split them apart a little bit, tell one to just stop for a while. Maybe that's what we'll do. I'll just tell this one to stop for a while. Let the other ones go, and then that way they'll be a little more spaced out. Of course, the passengers on this one are going, why are we stopped? We sat here for a month. I didn't do anything wrong. Anyway. It's fun. Anyway. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Sorry about that. Frame rate dropped badly. I forgot to shut off the high speed while it was trying to do the autosave. So our performance just dropped there. Sorry about that. The video probably went terribly for a second there. My apologies. Anyway. We'll move it on here. So that's good stuff. Yeah. Might even need one more passenger ferry up here too. Maybe, I don't know, it's hard to say. Having them a bit better spaced out will help, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 6 right now, it looks like, if I'm not missing one. That does sound like it should be about right, because by the time the 5th and 6th ones get there, should be okay. I really do think so. But I'll keep an eye on it for a minute. That one, obviously, it will have no chance of keeping up. That's fine. It will still be at nearly 400. But then there's a whole stack of them all close together. So I think maybe it might just be an inefficiency thing. These, where they're breaking down, they keep ending up in these long chains. It's not like road vehicles where they, or trains where they actually get stuck behind them and they can't move. They can pass each other, but it just seems like, you know, the way they're breaking down, it seems to be kind of pushing them closer together. It always seems to be one of the front ones breaking down and the back one catches up. It's kind of annoying, but anyway. Yeah, there's so many that came in all at once, so now all the passengers are completely clear. So these passenger boats actually have nothing to do. So I don't think I need more boats. I think they just need to be spaced out a little bit better. Is really the only problem I can see. So I think we're okay there. In terms of valuables and mail, I think the boats I've got now are doing. I think I've got one of each. I think. Yeah, that's a valuables boat, and I think this is my only mail boat. Yeah. So they're keeping up well enough with that. There may be occasional bits waiting for a bit, but it looks like they're keeping up pretty well. So I definitely don't need any more cargo boats up here. Now I think this road's okay. I am okay with that. So, excuse me. What else shall we look at? We haven't looked at our planes in a while. Yeah, it's doing pretty well. This is a passenger plane. Yeah, okay. So this tells me I should have about 20 more planes, but the giant yellow blob of fire that will at some point show up here when the plane crashes tells me I should not. Plane routes are not very good at handling large numbers of vehicles. Like on a road trip, for example, okay, yeah, maybe some of the buses have to sit there and wait on the road to get into the station, but it's not really a big deal. But with planes, of course, they can't land because there's only the one runway, so they circle, and they circle, and they circle, and they circle, right? It doesn't really do fuel per se, but if they do fly for a long time, they'll do a breakdown, so now they'll be circling while broken down, then they'll try and land, and sometimes, because they've waited so long, they will miss the runway and crash and blow up in a big fireball, and I don't like that. So we're just not going to do that. The other reason I haven't put a bus station in to help increase passenger flow here, we definitely do not need that. Definitely do not need that. So anyway, that clearly is doing well. Look at the size of this mess. You're up to both over 35 thou. And if they grow much more, then this little city's going to completely vanish. Or I could start servicing it, let it grow too, and then just make a real mess over here. But anyway. Anyway, now I think this city's plenty big enough already. Thank you very much. Anyway, let's go check on our coal situation here. Well, still looking okay. So this train shouldn't be too bad to fill up. It's what, 3 cars I think I put? Yeah, that's not bad at all. Just plunk the speed up for a second, let that finish getting loaded. Well, considering how that level of production, this does seem to be loading very slowly. Maybe that's just might just be my perception, but that does seem to be loading pretty slowly. But anyway, it's fine. We are rolling. I can see all the hills here. And all these corners. This is a pretty lousy section for this train. But at least when it's coming this way up the hills, it's empty, so it's not as bad. If you have to have a hill on one side to go up to a station, at least try and make sure that the way up is the way that's coming empty. Just because it'll have a little bit more power because the cars don't weigh as much. Because right now these 3 cars each hold 35 tons, so it's carrying an extra 105 tons this way that it doesn't carry going back. So anyway, just a minor little tip there. Ultimately, you want to try and avoid hills entirely, build tunnels or, do some landscaping or what have you, but it's not always possible. So that should jump to what, 90, 91? I think. Once that updates, and let's go check on our iron. We have the 2 trains on this one. Where's the mine for this side? Come here. Where are you? There it is. Yeah, that's not going to last much longer. But the other one should still be... Well, it's still okay. It's already a bit lower than I would have expected, but... Apparently iron is a very difficult resource to keep up. And I don't see another iron mine over in this area. There's probably some on the other side. I was just hoping if there was another one near here, I could just extend a line to it, but I'll probably have to end up just building an entirely new line over here somewhere. There's probably a mine around there somewhere. I'm just not seeing it right now, but that's a farm. That's not going to do it. But either way, it's okay. Here's some of our competition. Making very interesting little junctions here. Interesting. And a little bit of a mess there. So it really seems to like doing little junctions. That's interesting. Not entirely sure that that's helpful, but I guess it's not bad. Probably makes more sense here, yeah, where there's going, basically it's a T-junction. See, here this setup makes a lot of sense. When it's really just, going through a single point, it doesn't really do much. So, anyway. That's okay. And I actually think that the AI is now beating me in terms of profit too, because I'm holding around approximately 3 mil a year. Whereas these guys, okay, these guys are not doing well, we'll ignore them. But Choo Choo, the one doing all those trains, yeah, they're crushing me. That's harsh. Now they are, for reasons that elude me, paying interest on this loan for absolutely no reason. But even with that, they're still crushing me, so... Clearly, they're a lot better at trains than I am. Anyway. But the one thing I definitely will be beating them at is these, because they do not do these missions at all. Or at least not deliberately. They may incidentally build one, but it's because they're already building something there anyway, not because it's got a mission. The two scripts have nothing to do with each other. They were written by two different people. There's no connection whatsoever. So the Choo Choo script that's running the actual AI has absolutely no idea that these things are even here and doesn't care. So, if nothing else, I'm winning here. Yay. Anyway. So, anyway, that's all good. Excuse me. Now, I think, realistically, that this is going to be the next thing to finish. This coal here. It seems the most likely. It's the furthest along, and it's got decent production here still. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be the next thing to finish. Each trip seems to be 3 or 4%, so I think it's just got about 3 or maybe 4 more trips. Depends on the rounding. I can never be 100% sure because it doesn't show me to decimal places, so I can't do the math that well in my head, sadly enough. That's okay. Yeah, these should not take too long to load. There should have already been about 2/3. Excuse me, my voice is giving out on me. My throat's crackling. I don't like that. There's about 2/3 or so already sitting in the station waiting, so they get a good chunk of their load instantly, and then they just have to wait for the last little bits. Really? You waited till now to blow up? Okay. Yes, I know, one of the AIs, and I think it's the Bork AI, because it's really not doing anything. It keeps crashing on me. But then it just keeps restarting on its own, so I haven't even done anything with it, but it keeps fixing itself and then re-crashing later, and it's just weird. Anyway, we won't worry about it for right now. We'll just let this train load up. Come on, one more piece of coal. You can do it. One single piece of coal. Scrape some dust off the ground. There you go. And it is on its way. Alright. Get that dropped off here. Of course, the autosave makes the game crawl for a little bit as well. And even if it shows the button changing, it doesn't actually change the speed of the game while it's autosaving. So even if it looks like you've shut the speed off, you haven't. And so as soon as it's done, it flips itself right back on. So the game is then trying to do the autosave while at the same time it's trying to do everything at full speed, and yeah, it just doesn't work very well. So I always try to shut it off before an autosave, but I don't usually remember. And even if I remember, I don't always make it in time. So I try, but it does not always work. Yeah. So that's got about half. It's about half the train. That will load instantly. And then the rest will just creep forward slowly. And yeah, it's just a couple more trips. Don't know if we'll finish that this episode, but we're going to get awfully close. I'm hearing way too many boats breaking down. I don't like it in the slightest. Anyway, this train is rolling again. Convoluted route I gave it. I'm not entirely sure why I did it like this. Maybe I was trying to get around this hill and just didn't do it right. It seems weird to me to come this far and then come... Oh, it's diagonal. That's why. You can't do a diagonal on a hill, so that's why I had to go around. I didn't really have to go around this far. I could have just done it here, but it's okay. It's not a big deal. It's certainly not the worst rat track I've ever built, that's for sure. Certainly not the best either, but that's okay. Anyway, get this guy loaded up again. connection's still fine. I guess I could set this to not do full loads. Because by the time it gets back, it's got about a half load anyway, so rather than just sitting there and waiting, it could just go back and forth a few more times. You may not necessarily want to do that in a game, say like Railroad Tycoon, where you actually are paying for fuel for the vehicles, but in this game that fuel is just part of the general maintenance, so you don't pay extra for whether it's running or just sitting idle. Like the running cost does not change, so there's no penalty to having a train running back and forth not full. So that will also help make this happen. It'll update a little more often too. So it's obviously not going to finish any faster because it still has to haul that much coal, but at least it will seem like it's moving at a smoother rate, I guess is what I'm trying to get at. Put the speed up and we're running a little bit over on time again. Naughty me. But I was really hoping to finish this mission before we end for the day, but I don't think that's going to happen. Because it still needs a couple more trips. So what I'll do is I'll just let us get to January of 55, and that we'll call a good spot to stop. So we'll be a little bit over, but not too bad. But I know for sure that that'll finish in the next episode, which I'll be recording shortly, so it'll be up later today. So you won't miss out on anything that way. Alright, so at this point, folks, I'm going to call that an episode. So until next time, stay calm, and I hope you'll come and chill with me again in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye now.